Were you aware of the existence of this tape prior to this report?
Yeah, this is really missing the real story here. I mean, you guys teased it by saying what great reporting it is, what great journalism. I'm sure you're happy to have people talking to you, but this is a leak campaign.
I understand what you're saying.
Let me give it
but
a
I'm just
quick
wondering,
second.
I'm just wondering, did you know that this tape existed? And are there others?
I am not going to try a case based on the government leaks, but we need to just recognize the significance of the moment, which is DOJ and FBI, or some combination of them, are engaging in a leak campaign. Now, this actually started 3 days after the raid on Mar-a-Lago with an unprecedented press conference. You've never seen in the history of prosecution an attorney general doing that,
Jim,
and we're on that same line.
Jim, I just have to correct you. The Mar-a-Lago raid was publicized by your client.
Former
President Trump tweeted out that it was happening when it was happening.
Well, it was a highly publicized moment when dozens of FBI agents hit the President Biden's political opposition with a raid. But the point, what I was pointing to, and the common thread here that we need to recognize, is 3 days later, for the first time in the history of prosecution, I've been in criminal justice 32 years, a prosecutor, the attorney general, stands up and says, I want to announce that we did this raid, and I want to be selectively transparent. I want to leak out some parts of the warrant, but 9 months later, we haven't seen the affidavit. This is consistent. This is leaking evidence in a campaign to justify the unjustifiable.
All right. A point taken about how you feel about the information being in the public, but the substance of it. These tapes would indicate that former President Trump knew that the documents that he had were classified.
I'm not going to dignify the DOJ leak. What I will tell you is this. When you are, but this is addressing
like you just don't want to address the substance.
Well, it'd also be nice if you let me answer. So let me just try to answer, because I am trying to be responsive, but I'm not going to bite on a leak campaign and try the case in the media. What I will tell you is there is no doubt that as commander-in-chief, and when the president left Washington, D.C. for Mar-a-Lago, he was actually still president. When he left for Mar-a-Lago with boxes of documents that other people packed for him that he brought, he was the commander-in-chief. There is no doubt that he has the constitutional authority as commander-in-chief to declassify. It does not have to go through some sort of bureaucratic process to be declassified.
But wouldn't it be very easy to simply prove that he declassified them? Because even though he doesn't have to go through a process, he does have to decide that it's been done. Did he tell anyone?
Yes.
And can you prove it?
Sure, but we're not going to try.
Did he declassify this document that we're referring to?
We're not going to try the case leak by leak. What I can tell you is the leaks that come out, some of them are objectively false, some of them lack context.
But this is very significant. If you are saying that he declassified the documents, you should be able to say whether this document had been declassified.
I'm not trying my case for CNN. So no, I am not going to sit here and dignify leaks that are incomplete, that are unfair, and that are dishonest. This is a leak campaign. And you guys have the access to somebody from DOJ or FBI. You're touting the official line that they want you to pursue because they want to legitimize something that was never criminal. And for no other president has there ever been a document retention issue that's been treated as a criminal investigation.
Why would former President Trump have a document that seems to pertain to military plans? Why would he do that?
You know what's really fascinating about the leak is DOJ is trying to justify this persecution of the current administration's leading opposition by saying, oh my God, he had these sensitive materials that he shouldn't have had. And then they leak to you guys vivid details of a document that they say is classified.
So he's the one doing the describing.
You just did a piece with Caitlin that basically vouched for saying these are the details we're hearing, whether it's his description or actually seeing the document. What I'm telling you is I'm not trying the case in the media. I'm not going to sit here and address the document as if it's right or if that audio tape exists or as if it's not something that's really wrong. This is persecutorial justice. I've been around DOJ for 27 years. I've never seen a leak campaign like this. What we've built into the system is there are years of conversation, typically years of conversation, about whether or not certain documents are personal or presidential, okay? Obama, 2018, wrote a letter, his foundation wrote a letter to NARA saying, we have thousands of classified documents, we'll get them to you eventually.
But that is not what happened.
Oh, sure it is. I'll show you the letter.
NARA retained control over all of those documents NARA retained control over all of those documents that you're describing, including the facilities that they were kept in.
No.
That's been That's been fact-checked.
NARA has given
you keep repeating that?
NARA has given an official politicized statement saying we had legal custody. They didn't have physical custody.
They control
Abby,
the facility that the documents were in.
Why would the Obama Foundation write a letter? Well, let me finish.
Look, I don't want to get bogged down in other presidents. I'm talking about
But you've just misstated something I want to fix. Can I just fix it real quick?
I'm talking about your client here.
I'm talking
about your client
and
here.
I'm talking about dual systems of justice. When you have a president who has thousands of documents and NARA says, don't worry, we have legal custody, nobody would write a letter saying we'll return it eventually if they didn't have custody.
What you are describing is, according to NARA, a mischaracterization of what is going on.
And look at NARA's credibility.
what I am, can you say that?
I am not trying my case based on leaks that you want to celebrate.
But okay,
all you're trying to do,
you see the logic of what I'm trying to get at.
I see the reality of what you're doing.
If you're saying they're all declassified, but you don't want to say, whether this document was declassified.
Can I finish my thought instead of you celebrating your moment?
Here's
the issue.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it.
I know, but what I'm telling you is, when DOJ and FBI are on a leak campaign where they're selectively taking half-truths and mistruths, complete falsehoods, and putting them out there to Caitlin Collins and you guys to dangle out here on TV, I'm not going to respond to that. I'm not going to justify their behavior by acting as if it's actual fact.
Let me ask you to pause for just a second. Sure. Caitlin Collins is here and wants to ask a couple questions.
You are told by DOJ or FBI or whoever filtered that to you anything they can think of to justify a persecution.
But Jim,
Caitlin, I'm telling you, this is. They had rumors out yesterday. There's going to be one every day. They had rumors out yesterday characterizing the theoretical testimony of Evan Corcoran. It was completely false. This is a campaign
That's not relevant
to justify.
To this reporting.
Sure, it is. It calls into question whether any of their leak-based reporting is legitimate. And this is whether or not you got it through some third-hand person. This is leak-based reporting. I'm not second-guessing you for running the story, but what I'm telling you is it's factually inaccurate. I'm not going to treat it like it's gospel.
You're saying the story is wrong?
I'm saying
You just said it's factually inaccurate. But earlier it sounded like you were confirming it. So
I'm not confirming it. I'm telling you we're not going to respond to leaks. They want to try this case in the media. They want to justify the singular treatment of President Trump compared to any other president in history. And I guess we're not allowed to go back to 2018 when thousands of classified documents were kept in a former furniture store. But this is a president who specifically told DOJ, hey, if you want more, just come and ask for it. They said put a lock on the door. He did within 2 days. And then they dropped off all communications. They dropped off because the prosecutor on the case at that time, even before the subpoena, according to the Washington Post, was obsessed with doing a raid on Mar-a-Lago.